The Commission for Employment Equity is set to carry out its tradition of 23 years and hand over the latest Employment Equity report to Employment and Labour Minister Thulas Nxesi. Business reporter Ntokozo Khumalo will be covering the launch and handover. She joins us now from Ekurhuleni. Ntokozo, good morning to you. Now, the Employment Equity Act is just a couple of years shy from when South Africa gained independence. What is expected out of this report in terms of a change, a difference in transformation?
Good morning, Dumi-sang. Well, if the Commission reports over the last 23 years gives us any indication or shows us a trend of what we can expect out of the report today, is that the pace of economic transformation in South Africa remains or continues to move at a snail's pace, Dumi-sang. And of course, that is part of the reason that the department did suggest those amendments to the Employment Equity Act when it comes to just setting targets or sectorial targets in a bid, of course, really fast-track economic transformation, and just in preparing to see how far we've come and to be able to track. I did go all the way back to the first report that was released by the Commission back in 2001, and of course, back then the Commission was just 3 years old, with a lot of its staff actually working on a part-time basis, and the picture then was pretty big, Dumi-sang, and I did prepare some graphics, hopefully to just help viewers gauge just what the picture looked like, with white South Africans being the ones in the majority when it comes to top management positions, when it comes to positions that require skilled people and academically educated and qualified South Africans. White people were in the majority there, with black South Africans really filtering down to the semi and unskilled work. And of course, the Commission does have the powers to really advise the Department of Labour on changes that needs to be made to the to the Employment Equity Act, as well as the BE codes, in order to fast track that triple BE. So over the years from that first report in 2001, we did see some changes and updates, to the Act as well as to triple BE. This particular amendment that is being suggested, of course, will not be included in the reports and would likely, be revealed on how that has helped in next year's reports, because this year's reports will be looking back to the 2001-2022 period. And we're still struggling with an issue of compliance. In 2001, it was about 37% of designated organizations that actually did report to the department on its transformation targets and implementation and really meeting those compliance targets. But that also still remains an issue. And of course, back then, designated companies were organizations that had 150 employees or more. And over the years, that has reduced, and currently it's, designated organization is now 50 employees or more. And that was really in a bid to get more organizations to work towards being compliant. And of course, the Department of Labour, as well as the Commission of Employment Equity, saying that these new sectorial targets that they're trying to put on the table, and of course that is expected to be promulgated on the 1st of September, is really trying to see what skills each specific sector does have and what targets each specific sector can meet. So for an example, in renewables energy, if we're saying we are looking to meet a transformation target or more black people in senior management roles, 30% in the next 5 years, then that would be the target that is set for that specific sector. But the department is saying they are working with businesses in South Africa, because they do understand the landscape that we find ourselves in, where the economy is moving quite sluggish and it is hard to create and sustain jobs. And those can be some of the reasons, Dumisang, that businesses can put on the table and say, these are some of the reasons I was not able to meet my transformation targets. So the departments and commission, when I spoke to them yesterday, they're saying they expect, the reports to kind of show a similar picture, that we are seeing transformation, but rather at a very, very slow pace, Dumisang. And that is concerning when you consider that it is 23 years, 24 years in the workings where government has really been trying to work with business to drive this transformation agenda. And one of the issues that I'll be looking forward to hearing is around the skills deficit, because that is one of the issues that businesses will come and say, we do not have the skills we require, and government is then pushing us to a corner to actually employ the second best and so on, and government pushing back saying that is not what we're saying at all. But these employees that are black, colored and Indian that you do employ, that are in the semi to skilled level, what are you doing to actually empower them and upskill them, Dumisang? So those are the discussions that we will be having in a bit. The session is starting at 9 o'clock, and I'll update a little bit later on in the day.
We look forward to that report, particularly on the side of compliance as well as transformation. Ntokozo Khumalo will be bringing you those updates on the Employment Equity Report, the latest one to be delivered to the Labour Minister.